deck goes to.
Hello everybody, this is Eric Jose on Making a Murderer on YouTube. I cover the Steven Avery and Brendan Dassey cases, but also as time passes I've been covering other cases such as the Staircase or OJ and many wrongful convictions of youth. I go over the documents, the photos, the videos, anything case related, so stay tuned because I have many more videos just like the one you're about to see. Hello everybody. We have some footage here today that, I've used in a previous video that I took while I was out in Wisconsin. This particular here is at the salvage yard. At this particular point, I'm standing by where the crusher used to be. So I thought I'd share some of this with you guys. I know some of you have seen this probably because it's in another video. And if you guys are interested, I'll leave the link to the video down below for you so you can check it out. But this is like where the crusher is on the Avery site, and eventually I start walking over Mr. Hodnott and Miss Carla Chase over here, because I was with them that day. And basically I'm looking towards where the RAV4 was parked right now. I'm at where the crusher was, walking towards where the RAV4 was. So this is all kind of some cool footage I was able to get, obviously. Now I'm getting kind of closer to where that area where the RAV4 was. So this footage is cool. You can see it in the other video. And, I'm talking during it and you get to hear what I'm saying about Cadaver Dog Brutus and all that sort of stuff. And like I said, you get to see the actual footage from the yard, which is kind of cool. So as I work more and more my way towards where the RAV4 was, and then I'm eventually showing everybody. So there's that, you know what I mean. And then eventually there is over by Steven's trailer. And this is some footage I took over by Steven's trailer when I was talking about the fire pit, and when they brought Brutus over by the fire pit and kind of what was going on there. So got all this footage from the yard and stuff. And the reason why I'm showing you guys all this is because there's also something else I have that I haven't previously shown anybody that I recorded while I was there. And it was basically along the shoreline. And now that I'm going to be talking to Dave Bagatka, most likely here tonight, later on in tonight basically, I thought it was important to show this next clip I'm going to show you guys in preparation for the chat that I'm going to be having with Dave Bagatka, that y'all are going to probably be very interested in hearing and listening to. But for some of those people who aren't real familiar with all the things about the case and stuff and that, I wanted to give everybody an idea of what it was like, what the beach area is like there, along the shoreline of the lake there in Wisconsin, and what it looks like, so that people can understand what Dave Bagatka is talking about when he talks about, jumping off of his jet ski and going over the berm and that sort of things. I wanted to be able to give people a very, a strong visual representation of what he's talking about. And I had made this when I was there in Wisconsin. So we'll go ahead and watch it here. And then I'll stop it at certain points to just kind of point out a couple things for people. And so here we go. Hello everybody, I thought I'd get some footage here today of the spot on the beach where, originally they had said that Steven had attacked Patty Burnson, or Penny Burnson, sorry. And so you can kind of see that this little berm kind of goes down the beach, a long direction in both ways. And just like, so I want to point out right here, guys, you can see that, there's this big berm, and it goes, it's, I'm looking down basically like south, right? But it also goes north in the northern direction. We just happen to be in a little place where there's a little parking lot right there. So there's like a little kind of a crevice in the dune that's been created. We were able to kind of walk through without having to actually go over the dune. But obviously when you hear Dave Bagatka explain this is going to be kind of the berm or the hill that he's talking about. So now we'll move further as I go up over the hill here so you can see the area behind the berm, and you'll be able to get an idea of what Dave's talking about when he talks about the area back behind the berm. We've heard Dave Bagatka say that when he jumped off of his jet ski and came over this berm that you're seeing here, see guys, this berm and then comes down into this area back here. And it's the same way on both sides pretty much. But it goes into this little area. It's really secluded from everything. Look at it. You know, so you can see here, everybody, that, I mean, it's this area. So the berm comes down, and then there's just this area. And anybody on the shoreline, which is where most people will be kind of when they're hanging out, those people on the shoreline aren't gonna be able to see back here. And there's like trees and stuff, but especially if you get closer to this tree line, there's going to be all kinds of areas to like be hidden away. But there's virtually just, I mean, it's just area of where nobody is. It's kind of no man's land. So it's just so everybody gets a very good visual representation of the lay of the land. For when I'm talking to Dave and when he talks about this sort of stuff, I think it's important. Between this berm and the tree line, there's, I mean, it's a secluded area. I mean, he picked his spot. You know, Gregory Allen picked his spot purposefully, you can tell. You know, and it goes in both directions. So, just like over on that, now that's on the other side, you know, look in the opposite direction that I was just looking. And you can see there's a berm, but you go right over that berm and it looks... Now that berm I'm talking about is right here. There's this little berm. See, it comes, the berm that goes down the shoreline is obviously here and here as well, you know, or right here as well, but it also goes further down the shoreline over this way. But there's a piece of berm that comes out this way because of this parking lot right here. This little parking lot, you know, is this little rental car I had, by the way, when I was there. Anyway, so this little berm right here is coming out, so we can't really see down into that area that way so much because of this little berm. But there's another little dead space area just like the one we're seeing right over here that I was just showing you, just on the other side of this berm we're seeing here. So so this is where this area is, in between the berm and the tree line and stuff. When you hear Dave talking about this, I just wanted everybody to be able to have a good visual representation of it. It's just like it did over here. It's like a little valley in between the berm and the forest. So interesting. Just wanted to get some footage of this. The spot where supposedly, you know, Stephen had attacked Penny, but we all know it was now Gregory Allen. Now, while there with Mr. Hodnott, who, by the way, has a terrific sense of humor, as you can tell, he's with the Scottish garb. He's holding up the Scottish flag there. Anyway, I do apologize about the everything's a reverse negative there, because this was the very first time I ever, well, second time actually, I ever went live on my phone, or ever. And I didn't realize that by having my phone turned where I could see the screen would make everything a reverse negative like that. I should have aimed it first and made sure it was going to capture the area I wanted, and then I should have left it there like that, so that it would have, so everything wouldn't have been backwards the way it is. But oh well. But Mark and I were having great fun while we were there. It was a lot of fun. He was with me. He was with me when we stopped off on the shoreline to take that footage you just saw. He's wearing his Control Question t-shirt there that was given to him by Mr. Capaldi, one of the original 6 t-shirts, the original edition that were made by Mr. Capaldi. He's wearing his there. And like I said, we were down at the shoreline there, stopped off to do the Control Question t-shirt giveaway because we had 3 shirts to give away. Because like I said, Paul had made 6. Paul kept one, Mark got one, I got one. That left 3 that got given away in the video. This is what that's basically where this image is from. And we were there having good fun, and eventually, actually on our way, I believe it was on our way from the shoreline to do this, is when we were driving down the road, and we suddenly had this you know, this feeling, this, you know, kind of odd sensation that we felt the need to pull over and just kind of look around a bit, and we were chatting, and anyway, here's some of the footage.
We've been out here in the Manitowoc County area for a couple of days and done a lot of things.
Found some things?
Found some things. I have this really feeling of divinity when I'm in this area right here, that when I come to this area...
Closer to God?
Closer to God. And you know, no matter what you lose here, whether it's your car keys, your hat, or your virginity,
Or your RAV4.
someone's going to always find it for you. I'm not quite sure why I feel that, but I just have this sense of it somewhere in my mind that I'm closer to God, somewhere around here. It's just the whole sense of where we are.
Yes.
Do you feel the same?
Indeed. You know, you know, you feel more in tune here somehow. Like, you know, it's just, you know, like you just wouldn't have to waste time if you were looking for anything.
That's right. Yeah, it's a special place, that's for sure.
Special indeed. So that's going to wrap it up, folks. I just wanted to share with you some of the stuff I have from when I was in Wisconsin, obviously, for those who may be interested. I will leave the links to the videos I made with the footage I was talking about, the first couple clips that I made with those. I'll leave the link to the video below. And, you know, I just wanted to share some of the stuff there, like I said, that I made while I was there, and particularly that stuff on the shoreline, because I anticipated that something like this might happen, where I ended up talking to Dave one day and stuff, and so I thought it might be helpful for people to see that shoreline, really have a very good visual representation of in their mind of what that area looks like. So that was the other part of this, making this video, and obviously showing me, Mr. Mark Hodnott and I having a little bit of fun, kind of goofing around just a little bit while we were there in Wisconsin. Yeah, so I hope everybody enjoyed it. Hope this prepares you at least to understand what the topography and what the land looks like for when Dave and I have our little chat. And if you haven't already, please hit subscribe, and we'll see you.